Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool, but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Liverpool need a new centre-half this summer, even if Virgil van Dijk stays. Van Dijk claims there has been progress in his contract talks with Liverpool as they try to avoid losing him on a free in June. But the Liverpool and Netherlands skipper will be 34 in July, and Liverpool need to begin the process of replacing him this summer. Liverpool need to sign someone now to take over from Van Dijk in the next 12 to 24 months. Jamie Carragher, who knows a thing or two about what it takes to be a top defender at Anfield, feels the Reds need a centre-half to take some of the pressure off him. As brilliant as Van Dijk has been this season for the champions-elect, he has looked vulnerable in their last two games. He was beaten twice by Everton's Beto in the Merseyside derby, and the Portuguese striker's first effort was disallowed for offside before his second hit the post. Van Dijk was then embarrassed by Fulham's Rodrigo Muniz as he turned him before scoring in the Cottagers' 3-2 win on Sunday. Head coach Arneslot is a massive believer in Van Dijk's centre-half pairing with Ibrahima Konate. Slot appears to have less confidence in Jarell Quansah and Joe Gomez, and rarely breaks up his first-choice defensive pairing to give them game time. He was reluctant to even play Quansah at right-back, preferring the round peg of midfielder Curtisjones in that square hole. That underlines his need for backup for Van Dijk, and Liverpool have been scouring the Premier League and Europe for reinforcements. Dean Huijsen's star is in the ascendancy at Bournemouth, and the teenager, who turns 20 on Monday, has been a revelation since his £12.8 million summer move from Juventus. Although Amsterdam-born, he grew up in Spain and impressed on his debut for his adopted country in their Nations League win over the Netherlands last month. Huijsen has a £50 million escape clause and is being watched by Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Jarrad Branthwaite, 22, is the top English candidate, but Everton rejected Manchester United's £50 million offer last summer and want at least £70 million for the Cumbrian, who they feel is the new John Stones. That's a lot of money for a player who has yet to establish himself in England's squad, and it has gone quiet on the possibility of him moving across Stanley Park to Anfield. Eintracht Frankfurt's Aurelien Amenda is doing well in Germany and is already a Swiss international at 21. Amenda would not be cheap, and he has 4 years on his Frankfurt deal. Greece international Konstantinos Kouliarakis, 21, is having a fine first season in the Bundesliga with Wolfsburg since joining from PAOK Salonika last summer. Again, his transfer value is only going up, and Wolfsburg would want to start the bidding at £35 million. In this increasingly competitive market, and with AI recruitment on the rise, there are no bargains, and Liverpool could be set for a busy and expensive summer. Liverpool are just 11 points away from clinching the Premier League title, but with the finish line in sight, the Reds stumbled at Fulham on Sunday when they fell to a 3-2 defeat at Craven Cottage. It was the latest in a difficult run for Arneslot's side, who lost the Carabao Cup final 2-1 to Newcastle United just days after exiting the Champions League at the hands of Paris Saint-Germain. And Slot has faced accusations of not rotating his side enough in recent months, with some believing that tiredness has caught up with the Reds. Liverpool have fringe players in reserve, but despite Wataru Endo, Harveyelliott and Federicochiesa all impressing in cameos during recent weeks, none have started a Premier League match under Slot. Chiesa made a positive impressive at Wembley, scoring in stoppage time to give Liverpool some hope in the final stages of the game. And after a difficult debut season at Anfield, does the Italian deserve more chances to impress in the final weeks of the campaign? Our writers have their say. There's obviously a reason why Chiesa is still waiting on his first Premier League start since joining Liverpool from Juventus, and has seen minutes in general severely rationed this campaign. Slot observes the player in training on an almost daily basis, and it's not as though the Reds have had too many issues scoring goals this season. Even in defeat at Craven Cottage on Sunday, they managed to net twice. And the forward line is certainly one area of the team in which there is genuine strength in depth when everybody, like now, is available. Nevertheless, Chiesa has caught the eye in recent cameos, and with his enthusiasm and work ethic, has not been affected by the inevitable fatigue that has set into the legs and minds of some Liverpool players. In truth, the Italy international is only likely to be given a look-in this campaign should the Premier League title be assured early. But surely the forward has done enough to at least merit more minutes from the bench regardless. Come the summer though, it would be a surprise if Chiesa isn't lured back to Italy with a number of Serie A teams said to be courting his signature. Should he leave a Premier League winner and with Liverpool gaining a small profit, nobody could complain too much. Eyebrows were raised when Arneslot insisted that he prefers to predominantly make use of a smaller group of 14 to 15 players, rather a full squad earlier this season. There was a logic in his reasoning, in terms of players being more familiar with each other, and that stability certainly paid off during the first 2/3 of the campaign. But he's not in the Eredivisie anymore, in charge of one of the Netherlands' elite clubs. The Premier League is more intense with a greater number of fixtures and tournaments, tougher competition, and no winter break. If you want to go the distance across the board, you need to make the most of all your ranks. Given Liverpool's position at the top of the table, the Dutchman is rightly afforded the benefit of the doubt. But it will be interesting to see what lessons he learns heading into his second season. If he doesn't fancy some of his current fringe players, fair enough. But that then needs to be addressed in the transfer window this summer. For now, he has to work with what he has as Liverpool look to get over the line and win the Premier League title. With some players not at their best, it would be wise to turn the less used stars who are so hungry for opportunities to impress. Federicochiesa is one such player. He has caught the eye in glimpses and is deserving of more than just the scraps of action he has seen so far. Yes, Mohamed Salah is ahead of him in the pecking order, but the Italian is capable of playing anywhere across the front three. With the Reds not at their best in front of goal, and Salah enduring his quietest spell of the season, what's the harm in turning to Chiesa to see if he can answer the call instead? With none of the centre-forward options making the place their own, he should be given the chance to audition. He is clearly a talented player and looks capable of making things happen when turned to. Sure, he was poor against Plymouth Argyle in the FA Cup back in February, but wasn't everyone. One poor game against Championship strugglers should not decide his Anfield career. Having been bombed out by Juventus last summer, he was always going to be left playing catch-up in new surroundings. But after a full pre-season this summer, he'll certainly be better off for whichever club he is plying his trade for next season. In the meantime, Chiesa deserves the opportunity in the weeks ahead to prove whether or not he is worthy of a long-term place in Slot's Liverpool squad. And with the Reds limping over the line in the title race, he could be exactly the shot in the arm the attack needs to get the job done and finish the season as champions. Liverpool have to wait until Sunday to rectify last weekend's defeat to Fulham in the Premier League, but their mission remains to tie up the Premier League title. Arne Slot's side require 11 points to become champions for the first time in 5 years. The Reds' preparations will be fully focused on claiming 3 points against West Ham United to get back on track in their title quest. The quicker that is wrapped up, the earlier Liverpool's attention can firmly focus to preparing for next season and the transfer market. There will also be scrutiny over the futures of Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah, who have yet to agree new deals on Merseyside. Trent Alexander-Arnold is already expected to depart with the trio set to see their contracts expire at the end of the season. There is no shortage of work still to be completed by the Reds. Liverpool Report takes a look at the latest news and transfer rumours around Anfield below. Liverpool are extending the contracts of both Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. The Reds stars are set to remain at Anfield according to NBC, with Arne Slot's side confident new deals will be signed. Salah has net 27 goals in 31 games in the Premier League this term, and Van Dijk has started every match the club have faced in the division. The Dutch defender has already revealed that there had been progress in the negotiations. There is progress, yeah, Van Dijk told reporters after Liverpool's 3-2 defeat to Fulham. I don't know, we'll see. Listen, these are internal discussions, and we'll see. I love the club, I love the fans, and they were there for us again, and we wanted to reward them at Fulham. But want I them to be there against West Ham on Sunday again and make the stadium an amazing venue like always for us? Liam Delap will prioritise playing time when choosing his next club, should he leave Ipswich Town at the end of the season. The 22-year-old is drawing interest from the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea and Newcastle, while Manchester United have made the striker their #1 target. The ex-Manchester City youngster does not want to complete a transfer, only to be a backup option at his new club, however. Delap is believed to be available for £40 million after moving to Portman Road for £20 million last summer. City will be entitled to 20% of any profit made by the Tractor Boys. They are unlikely to attempt to activate their buyback option for the player, however. Former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher believes the team's lack of a left-sided central defender cost them against Fulham. Alex Iwobi scored for the Cottagers after the Reds gave up possession outside of their own area, and Carragher believes the interaction between Van Dijk and Andy Robertson highlighted a long-term issue. The reason why Fulham have pushed it to Van Dijk is, and something Liverpool have always lacked, a left-footed centre-back, he said. Now, the reason I think Virgil van Dijk probably goes to left-back Andy Robertson is it's the obvious pass, of course. It's not a bad pass, but maybe a left-footed centre-back with the quality of Van Dijk could actually go there and play a long-range pass from left to right and find Mo Salah in space. If it's on the right side, he's got that passing range in his locker. And that's why I think Fulham have pushed it this side, pushed Virgil van Dijk onto his left foot. Because they know he can't play that pass and he's going to play the shorter pass. He goes to Andy Robertson and he's just got to go back to the goalkeeper. He tries a crossfield pass, he gets it wrong, and we know what happens. It was a nightmare scenario for him.